Still another note here. Right now we're traveling at about 3 nautical miles per hour, and that relates to miles per hour. 1 nautical mile is equal to 1.15 miles per hour that that we are accustomed to. So that's our speed. Now we'll wait for Matt's announcement. The ship's top speed is about 14 nautical miles per hour, 14 knots per hour. That is the top speed of this wonderful little red ship, the Explorer.
Bransfield Strait. Fairly good visibility this morning, although it is gray and overcast. Off the port bow you can see Deception Island, where we visited a few days ago. You have a bit better view of Deception today than you did when we were there a few days ago. And we are still making our way north towards King George Island. We have been slowed considerably by this ice. We will not be arriving this morning, but we will keep you posted as to the more exact time of our arrival. It's a chilly morning, just about 0, freezing point, 32 Fahrenheit. And we've seen a fair number of Adelie penguins out on the ice floes today. Snow petrels around. Anybody who'd like to do some birding, Megan will be standing by on Ridge Wing. So come up if you'd like to look for snow petrels. Breakfast will be served for another half an hour. And at 9:15, Wally will be in the lecture hall with Endurance. Enjoy your morning.
Here we are again on the 17th of November. It's a Thursday. It's about 5 o'clock right now. We're looking straight ahead. We're on the port side of the ship. Again, if you're looking to the front, it's to the left side. We're looking at the base right now, the Brazilian base, Comandante Ferraz, Antarctic Research Base. Let's look left to right. We see a couple of small shacks. They look like utility shacks. Then a larger one, and then a radio antenna and various antennas. Moving along now, it's probably about maybe 100 yards up from the shore. Closer to the shore is a small, I don't know what sort of a shack that is, can't tell. It's all green. All these shacks are now I'm describing as green. And then moving along to our right, we see a long, a long building. It looks like one building. It looks like it's probably about maybe about a block long, an average maybe city block, a block and a half long. Many antennas, a radar scope up there. A Zodiac is landing now. There are a couple of small boats, small vessels, and then moving ahead. All this is green again. A couple of open doors, people walking on the beach, people from the Zodiac, from our ship. Then moving along to the right, there's a Zodiac to our left coming off our ship now, and it's being dropped into the water. And then there are a couple of orange, look like little utility shacks. Well, I don't know what goes on in there, some sort of equipment perhaps. Then moving along a little green shack, a little green shack. It looks like it may have electrical. I see what may be an electrical hazard sign. And then the radio tower, and then another long orange building. Then an old shack, looks like a barn, not painted, perhaps not in use. Then looking straight out, still on the port side, but then straight out, looking right and sweeping across. Okay, we're looking. Okay, right now, if we're looking we're looking straight out from the port side, left side of the ship, and looking to our right, coming across, is the cargo ship. It says 844. I guess that's a Brazilian ship. They brought the cargo out. We see a helicopter on the back of this cargo ship, a brown and white helicopter. The snow is just gorgeous. The blues again. There's a glacier, a large glacier, and then of course mountain cliffs. And so that's what we're looking at. We're getting ready to go aboard, and then of course we'll see you on shore, and then hopefully we'll do a tour of the base. It's the Comandante Ferraz Brazilian Antarctic Research Base. And so that said, let's move along sprightly. Cut tape right here. Okay, we're just about at shore now. Now, the plan for us right now, we're going to begin with Wally Herbert. We're going to head up to an old shack, and we're going to get a little tour. Then we're going to wait. There are 15 of us allowed in the base at one time in the center. So that's what's going to be happening. We're going to be spending a little time with Wally. It's an abandoned shack, and Kim mentioned the country, and I neglected to get the name of the country, but we'll find out soon. We're coming through a little ice over here, a little choppy ice, and we have listened to us land. Here we go, we've landed. We're on the shore, and here is life, human life, for the first time, other than people we know. Now, what I saw from shore was from the boat was the shack with the red for explosive, but it says no fuma. You can't smoke over there. They're clearing snow here. This is Brazilian, and I noticed the Brazilian flag on our host jacket, and they won the World Cup, and I'm wearing my New York Ranger World Championship Stanley Cup cap, so a couple of champions here on shore. Cut tape. We're listening to some Brazilian now, I guess. Oh, we're going to be moving along. I think I got some of that. Here we are. This is Brazilian territory right here. I would imagine, if I've got my politics down, and I guess I do, this is their property. Anybody understand Brazilian? Okay. There's a caterpillar here, pushing snow around. The scenery is gorgeous here, folks, just beautiful.
Especially when you go into the station, it's very slippery, it's ice, you go
Colleen from the gift shop is saying to be very careful when you go into the station through the entrance. It's icy, you can slip, so be very careful. This is not that hospitable here. It's like a little town, a green and orange town. A little noisy, huh? It's like 23rd Street between 6th and 7th. I associated. At this point, let me just mention Pete Solomita and Michelle and Michael and the whole bunch over there. Hi, and thanks very much for the opportunity, everybody at the Associated Blind on 23rd Street. Sellis Manor. And a special hello to Flo Fox. Flo, we haven't spoken in a while, but I love you very much, and I hope you're doing well. Flo Fox, hi Flo. Greeting from the Comandante Ferraz Antarctic Research Base. Flo, I finally got overseas. God bless you, baby. Oh, let me catch my breath. That was Wally Herbert. He hasn't been back here in 39 years. This is the first place you came to?
The very first place I came to, yeah.
Your first trip? Admiralty Bay. Yeah.
It's pretty derelict now, isn't it?
What country did this belong to?
It's a British base. It's one of the earliest bases to be built down here.
In which country?
British. It's British base.
Okay. Ooh.
The lake is out of bounds because it's dangerous.
Okay, we're staying clear of the edges here. I'm looking forward to getting back to New York City to see if I can still walk level ground. I believe we're going to hear from Wally.
And it's out of bounds because it's only very thin ice, and the natives here are a bit worried that we might fall through. So we must be rather careful of this little lake at the back. So I suggest you just stay pretty close to the hut, and whether we can get in or not, I'm not sure. We'll have a try, but just walk around the hut and then make your way back down there in due course. But not to walk across the lake at the back here.
Wally,
It's, I don't know, we've also have a check, want to just check it out really, see whether it's safe.
We're going to get some history from Wally in a few moments when we get him.
This place is one of the earliest bases to be built down here by the British, and probably around about, what's this, it's called Base G. It must have been around about 1952 or something like that. It was the very first place that I ever saw when I arrived here. We came across Strait Passage and anchored just off where the ship is at the moment, and looked out, and this is what we saw. So that was, for me, my initiation. I remember climbing that hill up there, things called Flagstaff Hill.
Way up, straight ahead.
And all these keen young men, the very first thing they wanted to do was climb a hill. So take some of the steam out of us.
There are 5 crosses, Wally. The 5 crosses?
There are various people that have died here at the British bases over the years, but it's over quite a long period of time. Going right back to about 1959, 52, something like that, when it was first built.
And they bury them right here?
Yeah, I don't know when the place was abandoned.
It's been a while.
But quite a while ago, I
think.
It's
been quite a while.
By the state.
Looking at 5 wooden crosses, 1 small one, and I'm not sure they're all crosses. I know 1, 2, 3 are. We'll have to get a better look. They're up the hill behind the station, and these folks are buried here. And we'll try to get some more information on them later on.
And so that pile of gravel that you see across the water there has been deposited as the glaciers melted back to that point, and that's why they've got graves here. Whenever you see graves in an area like this, you're likely to be on moraine, because that's a place you can dig in instead of being bedrock. So graves usually mean moraine, and you can see this junk, which is all sorts of different kind of volcanic materials that have been brought from all over the island. So it's not just from that hill and these other little peaks around here, but it's glacial material that's been brought from clear back up, and the glaciers clear here, and then as the glacier melted, it dumped all the gravel that it had been carrying and left these ridges here on the sides of the glaciers.
We're going to get Bill Romey.
Yes, I've just had a look through the window. It doesn't look as though we're going to get much of a
get Bill Romey on tape on land very often, but that was Bill, geologist. Bill Romey.
There are 2 things that go on. One is that, of course, when a glacier recedes, it doesn't suck back. All it does is just melt. And the thing is, they're always like, that's advancing all the time now. It's bringing debris down with it as it comes. And so even when a glacier's standing still, it's depositing morainal debris right in its front. But this has receded since quite a lot since that particular moraine. You see, I don't know what the on balance is right now. On balance, the East Antarctic, they're growing. The ice is growing there on East Antarctic right now, from what I've read recently. But this thing right here, obviously, that front that you see there, these cliffs that you see there, that's a matter of rather considerable recession over not that long a geological period to have these big moraines here.
What period?
Oh, you can't say. I mean, I can't give you a period of time on this without, having a lot of photographs over time or something. So I don't know whether we're probably talking hundreds of years.
Youngsters, a young happening. Okay, we're going to try to go inside. Perhaps we can. Okay, we're going to go inside, I guess. We're going to go inside, but let me read what it says here. Admiralty Bay, Keller Peninsula, King George Island. Admiralty Bay is an unoccupied British research station and now serves as an emergency refuge only. Please do not enter except in an emergency. If you enter the station, you do so at your own risk and on the understanding that neither the British Antarctic Service nor the UK authorities will be liable for any personal injury or damage to property you may sustain. Leave the station safely closed when you depart. Inform the British Antarctic Survey of your visit.
I don't know. We'll find out later on, I hope.
Wally, I noticed a sign, and there was one at Portal Point that your hut, and you're a little dismayed about that sign from the UK. Yeah. And what do you plan for that sign? I know you said there were 2 on the wall, and this bothered you a bit.
In my opinion, that sign on the other hut in particular should not be there. It's a desecration of the hut. So it won't be there in a few weeks' time.
You're coming back in a couple of weeks, I guess the beginning of December, maybe, mid of the first week. Okay, Wally, so take pictures.
It's necessary to have signs like that. I mean, anyone who's got any sensitivity at all would not damage a hut like this. It's obviously a piece of our heritage. And you don't need to put up
14 knots per hour. That is the top speed of this wonderful little red ship, the Explorer.
Bransfield Strait. Fairly good visibility this morning, although it is gray and overcast. Off the port bow you can see Deception Island, where we visited a few days ago. You have a bit better view of Deception today than you did when than we were there a few days ago. And we are still making our way north towards King George Island. We have been slowed considerably by this ice. We will not be arriving this morning, but we will keep you posted as to the more exact time of our arrival. It's a chilly morning, just about 0, freezing point, 32 Fahrenheit. And we've seen a fair number of Adelie penguins out on the ice floes today. Snow petrels around. Anybody who'd like to do some birding, Megan will be.
Still another note here. Right now we're traveling at about 3 nautical miles per hour, and that relates to miles per hour. 1 nautical mile is equal to 1.15 miles per hour that that we are accustomed to. So that's our speed. Now we'll wait for Matt's announcement. The ship's top speed is about 14 nautical miles per hour. To the front, it's to the left side. So looking at the base right now, the Brazilian base, Comandante Ferraz, Antarctic Research Base. Let's look left to right. We see a couple of small shacks. They look like utility shacks, then a larger one, and then a radio antenna and various antennas. Moving along now, it's probably about maybe 100 yards up from the shore. Closer to the shore is a small...
Standing by on the bridge wing, so come up if you'd like to look for snow petrels. Breakfast will be served for another half an hour, and at 9:15 Wally will be in the lecture hall with Endurance. Enjoy your morning.
Here we are again on the 17th of November. It's a Thursday. It's about 5 o'clock right now. We're looking straight ahead. We're on the port side of the ship. Again, if you're looking